fitting perfectly, and more allied, I would have thought, rarely to science and to religion, although it's certainly allied to both. Well, what is science? Particularly pure science at this time. Let's look at that, rather than applied science. Science is the study of appearances, of phenomena. It is the study, region by region, of objects. Now, if you look at objects from a certain range, you get, say, a living object. Say, looking at me from a certain range, why, you get a human being called Elizabeth. Science will discuss that area and go into the question of perhaps at that range sociological and other questions. Now, a biologist or cytologist coming nearer will come to a region where it appears as tissues and cells and so on. And then he brings up his microscope to investigate that. And then the chemist or the biochemist will come nearer with his more powerful microscopes, electron microscopes and so on, and he'll discover what is here to be at his level, not denying the others, but discover this to be a chemical phenomenon, a series of processes, phenomena. And so the physicist will come in, find here particles, wavicles, particles, twists in space-time continuum, etc., etc. Something very, very spacey now. What's left behind in this approach to what I am? Here, the scientist's point of view, first of all, we got life there, living whole person, the polycellular. Then you have the unicellular life of the cell here, as he zooms in on his subject. And even then that life that's left behind, we come to molecules. Molecules aren't alive as such. And the chemist discovers all sorts of chemical processes. And then, coming in further, we come to the level of physical processes, space-time and all that stuff. So life and even materiality, certainly color, everything is being left behind stage by stage on the way up to me here. Now, what the scientist can never do is find out, he doesn't pretend to find out what is the reality or noumenon behind the phenomena. He studies appearances. He studies phenomena. That's his job. He knows it's his job. He'll admit it, of course, if he's a good pure scientist. Now, my response is to say, great, because here, your whole story from there up to here is a story of onion peeling. Simplification, dropping characteristics, and coming in a way towards nothingness, no thingness. And now I come in and complete the story, and I say, yes, scientist, you're absolutely on the right track, but only I, who am at no distance from myself, only I can really complete your story. And I do so with great pleasure, and I tell you that at the center of this nest of appearances, the core of the onion, which I alone am seized of because I'm it is no thing. It's space for the world to happen in. Is it something geographical, like a country, a planet, solar system, galaxy? And in the last resort, empty space, just dotted with fine little points of light. empty space out there and empty space in here, and all these things in between humanity and life, all this extraordinary array of cosmic treasures. I complete the story and I say, right at the center is this no thing, but it is aware. That's a great point. It's aware no thing. And its implicit seems to be in the whole process of science, which, as I say, is the study not of central inscrutable realities, but of appearances.